Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. On today's episode, we will discuss the 2022 Grand Prix de France outcome. We are starting with the pairs and the women. Guys, I am having so much fun with the Grand Prix this season. I think it's because that sense of helplessness in the face of the obvious unfairness in the scoring is gone. There may still be some questionable judging going on. However, it is not to the level where it leaves you feeling a sense of disgust. Now, to recap what happened in France, I want to start off with the pairs, and I want to start off with the Georgian pair of Karina Stefina and Luka Berlava. They are the current reigning junior world champion, and given the obvious pain that Karina was in, I really wanted to ask what madness drove the Georgian Skating Federation to let her skate in that condition. But then, when I saw that Sergei Dudikov is in the kissing crowd with the team, I understood. Having skaters performed while injured is a trademark of Eteri and company. And of course, they wouldn't change that for poor Karina. Also, while the Russian athletes are banned from competition, the coaches are not. Is that how it is? Because Dudikov was here not only with the Georgian pair, but he was also here with the Georgian men representative, Mika Egas. We have also seen Eteri student Maurici Kitalashvili with the Georgian woman representative Anastasia Gabanova. Is Team Tubeletsky preparing to take over the single and pairs discipline in Georgia? Is that their Russian exit plan? If it is, it's actually not a bad idea. I feel like if Team Tuberetsi went over to Georgia, the fallout from Russia would probably be much less than, let's say, if they were to go to a Western country, especially if they were to go to the US. I mean, as for the Georgian pair itself, poor Karina literally struggled through the short program and then had to fight her way through the long program. They did all that so that they could end up in fifth place off the podium. I mean, this really is a season where they could have just taken off and allowed this poor young woman to heal herself. Unfortunately, given their coaching staff, we will undoubtedly see Karina and Luca 3 weeks from now at their next Grand Prix. I can only hope that poor Karina gets a little chance to heal and is in much better condition when we see her next time. The podium in pairs was full of surprises for me in France. Bronze went to Annika Hocker and Robert Canal. The pair came back in the long, delivering a fairly clean program that took them from fifth place to third place. Anika has some of the prettiest air position in her lift. Like when he lifts her up, first of all, he presents her beautifully. But when he lifts her up, the positions that she gets, the extension of her blade, the arch in her back, the way she tips her fingertips, it really is quite nice to see her position in the air. For me, the lifts by Annika and Robert are the highlight of their program. Silver went to hometown husband and wife team of Kamil Kovalev and Pavel Kovalev. Way to deliver under pressure. This team saw an opportunity and they took it. Their elements are not 100% up to par. However, the raw material is there. There is an earthiness, a healthiness, an adultness look to this pair that I really just like. And I also feel like they see the opportunity before them, they're hungry, and they're going for it. And I love to see that kind of ambition in pairs. The gold medal was, of course, earned by none other than the diva queen herself, Miss Diana Stiletto de Duc and Maxime Deschamps. This was not the outing that they had in Skate America. It was not as clean. Definitely both in the short and in the free, they had their ups and downs. But I feel like that's normal for the season. It's impossible for a pair or any discipline to be consistently up for the entire season. So here in France, I feel like Diana and Maxine did enough to book their ticket to the Grand Prix final. Now they have the confidence of knowing what it's like to win a Grand Prix. They're going to take that home. They're going to do what they need to do. They're going to clean what they need to clean. They're going to do as many repetitions as they need to do. And I feel like when they come for the Grand Prix, they're not just going to be coming for a medal. I feel like they're going to come with the confidence that maybe we could win this title. And honestly speaking, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If we really look at the pairs we have on hand, we have the Japanese, we have the Americans, and now we have the Canadians. If one pair is outstanding and the other two falter, any one of these pairs can realistically walk away with the title. That means Diana and Maxime could walk away with this title. And I feel like that idea needs to be embedded in their brain as they go forth and start preparing for the Grand Prix final. And I'm really looking forward, again, I keep saying this, I'm really looking forward to the Grand Prix final because I have no idea what's going to happen. Then we moved on to the women. Another outing of personal bests and heartbreaks for the women. Starting off with the personal best, we had May Berenice Matei coming back from injury and showing that at 28, she is not done yet. Honestly, I was prepared to give the French women's national title to Leah Senna. What with her powerful jump, even if those jumps are out of control, when she goes up in the air and she lands it correctly, there's something so, like I said before, girthy about her jumps. However, May just threw down the gauntlet and said, "Not yet." The short was the best I have seen May do in years. The triple toe, while not perfect, is a jump she can still do after a major surgery. To me, that really is amazing and says so much to her physical fitness and her mental preparedness to be in this competition. However, it wasn't just in the short. May also came and delivered in the free, again doing the best performance that I've seen her done in years. Was it clean? Was those triples fully rotated? Was she not stepping out? No, she was doing all those things. There was under rotation, there was step out. But given the fact that she is just coming back from surgery, for her to be able to do that under the pressure of being at home truly is amazing. And she also seems like such a sweet person with her bringing out the cake for Luna and her birthday. She seems like she has a fun personality. Like you'd want to hang out with her. Another person that surprised me with her short program was Audrey Shin. I really think that a fire has been lit under the U.S. women this season. With Mariah Bell and Alyssa Liu both retiring, and with Brady Tennell and Karen Chen both more or less out this season, the podium at National is up for grab. Yes, we all know the gold medal is set aside for Isabel Levito. However, that still leaves the silver and the bronze medal. And I honestly think whoever shows up for the rest of the season and whoever shows up at National and deliver can find themselves making the world team and going to a world championship. And for a lot of these skaters, like Audrey Chen, this would be a first time event. And I feel like that is really motivating and inspiring these young women. I mean, Audrey was not as clean in the short as she was in the long, but this was still one of her best long program to date. And I feel like it's showing where the US women's mindset is at right now. And I really love to see it. This is just going to make US national that much more interesting. From the high, we also had some lows. Poor Rino Matsuki had another difficult short outing here. Honestly, I wish Reno would take the year off and rebuild. Unfortunately, Reno did not have the stamina to make it through the whole loan program, but at least she didn't have to withdraw at this event. Again, so much talent. Without a doubt, to me, Reno has some of the most beautifully effortless jump technique in women. Look at the way she enters her jump with such intricate, footwork, and the way she goes up in the air and land. There's no ice flying, there's nothing. The edge is clear and the ride out is smooth. And then out of the ride out, you have sets of twizzles and other difficult moves. It's just her jump technique is just pure beautiful when it's on. It's just unfortunately it's rarely on for an entire program. But if she can get healthy, I really feel like she could be an unbeatable women's champion. The other one was Mana Kawabe. Hers was an even sadder state. She was set to possibly win a medal here in France after her short program, which was strong and just she owned it. At this point, I'm going to call what's happening to Mana the Mai Hamada effect. That is where skaters leave Hamada and they suffer from a mental blockage that prevents them from competing jumps that they are obviously capable of doing. We also just saw this happen to Moran Honda. I mean, with Mana, it's not a question of talent, it's a question of being able to deliver on that talent. Unfortunately, Mana went from third in the short to ninth in the long. I can only hope that Mana rebounds from this in her next event because obviously this is a mental and not a physical situation. So I hope they can find a way to help her work her way through this because she's another really good jumper and performer with the right program. She really could also be on the podium. Then we had Hyan Lee, who finished in fourth place here. I have to say, I was surprised in the most delightful of way. Honestly, I was expecting Highland to be buried at this event. Yet, even with a fall on the entry of her triple loop in the short program, the judges were not as harsh to her as they could have been. I mean, her short program score still put her in contention for a medal if she were to deliver in the long. However, her long was another mistake filled program which took her off the podium. But I feel like Hyan is making mistakes at every competition, but I don't feel like these mistakes are so disastrous that she can't come back from them. So I'm always hopeful that Hyan will have that moment where everything comes together for her. On the podium instead was my dark horse pick, Ryan Sumiyoshi. She is taking home the bronze. In the long program, Ryan unveiled her quad toe loop, and even though she had a fall on it, the jump was still an exciting attempt. You could see the height of it, the full rotation of it, and if she ever were to deliver it in competition, it would be a jump that is memorable. While she did fall on the quad, the rest of the jumps were landed. They weren't perfectly landed. There was some edge calling under rotation. But again, the foundation is there. And this was a really great international senior debut for Ryan. I can see her building from this. I can see her taking the momentum and doing similar to what Renka did and maybe earning another silver or even a gold medal at her next event, buying herself a ticket to the Grand Prix final. We're just going to have to wait and see. Yelin Kim walked away with the silver medal in France. However, it was not an easy medal. The short program was the best that I have seen from Kim all season, and I felt she was a little underscored. However, the score for everyone at this event was within a reasonable range that it wasn't such a bad underscoring. However, with two falls in the short, Yellen and us both thought that she was getting the bronze. However, when the short program scores and PC scores were combined, Yellen did just enough to stay ahead of Ryan and take home the silver medal. I feel like this was sort of a fluke. She had been doing pretty good in the long program up until now. This is the first time I've seen Yellen fall twice in a short program in a while. Hopefully, her team will reevaluate their game plan, figure out what went wrong, and then during her next Grand Prix, we're gonna see a much better Yellen. Again, at this point, I'm not panicking over this situation. The undisputed winner of both the short and the long program and the birthday woman herself was Luna Hendricks. This is the definition of seizing the opportunity presented to you. From start to finish, Luna presented herself as the winner of this event. There was no hesitation in her jumps. Her spins was solid. Her movement was on point, and she was selling you both program like she was getting paid. Both her score in the short and the long were well deserved. So far, Luna is the only woman amongst the title contenders to have delivered two clean programs in the Grand Prix. Now, will the other women take this as a motivation and come back stronger? Or is Luna going to just ride in here and be like, this is mine? Hold my blades. Is this about to be the era of Luna Hendricks and everybody else is just living in it? Or are these women going to put up a fight and give us one of the most interesting Grand Prix in worlds that we have seen in a while? You guys know what I want. I mean, if Luna can win everything this season, power to Luna. But if we can have all of these women competing, skating clean, fighting, bringing on the drama for our mama, you guys know that's what's going to make me the most happiest. Anyways, I cannot express enough how happy I am to see the realistic scores that these skaters are getting in the women's competition. Yes, I may feel one skater or another was underscored at an event. However, I prefer seeing that than to watching skaters get inflated scores that had nothing to do with the skating they did on the ice, what they delivered. But that is just me. That is just what I personally feel. However, what about everyone else? Did your podium prediction come true? And what do you think of the judges' scoring of the Grand Prix so far? Let me know in the comments below.